Story appears ordinary till you see the core side of it.
And what you're looking for is the story behind the news.
We bring it to you from Lagos, the commercial capital of Nigeria.
Giving you all sides and political stories round the clock.
Every detail from the start line to the final whistle.
CoreTV News, expanding your view.
Hello, it's the CoreTV News on the hour with Ebulomo Adekunle. The federal government is moving to collaborate with state and local authorities in a bid to check the spread of Ebola virus disease in the country. Information Minister Labaran Mako told journalists after the Federal Executive Council meeting that the government wants states to take preventive measures against the virus. The meeting also considered a national response to the disease, which has now claimed its first Nigerian victim.
They must not wait until it comes into their borders. Every precautionary measure that should be taken by all the 36 states and the FCT must be taken. And one of such measures is to create the isolation camps in partnership with the Federal Ministry of Health, under the leadership of the Federal Ministry of Health. In addition to preparing the personal protective equipment, for health workers, and also to prepare the medical personnel in every state and set up units where we should prepare for any outbreak. The state governments have been told to create their own committees made up by the federal ministries by the state ministries of health, ministries of information, and other major stakeholders.
As at this morning, Nigeria has recorded 7 confirmed cases of Ebola virus disease as at this morning. You'll recall that the first one was the index case, the imported case from Liberia, of which the victim is now late. And yesterday, the 5th of August 2014, the first known Nigerian to die of this disease was recorded. And this was one of the nurses that had attended to the Liberian. The other 5 cases that are Ebola positive are currently being treated at the isolation ward in Lagos. It is pertinent to note that all the Nigerians that have been diagnosed of this disease, the Ebola virus disease, so far, were actually primary contacts of the index case. These are people who had direct contacts with the Liberian. And there are still more of such people. Presently, as I speak, a total of 8 persons are in the isolation ward, of which 5 have already been confirmed as Ebola, and the other 3 are being investigated.
The Lagos State Ministry of Health says it is searching for other people who had secondary contacts with the victims of the Ebola virus in Lagos. Anita Fatunji has details.
The Commissioner for Health, Jude Idris, gave an update on the contact tracing arising from the index case of the dead Liberian. He said a total of 70 persons were monitored, but 8 has been admitted and their blood samples taken.
Well, we don't want to appear to be harbinger of bad news, but there are certain things we need to do if we have to do such. You recollect again yesterday when we briefed you, and some people said that maybe we were holding information, and I said we were not holding information. This is just another update, because in the last 24 hours, there have been other developments. Like I did say again, based on the contract tracing arising from the index case that came into the country, that's the Liberian, we have been following up a total of 70 persons who have been primary contacts to that person. monitoring. Of these, currently, 8 have been admitted and blood samples taken. Results of 5 out of the 8 samples taken have been received, with 4 out of the 5 testing positive for Ebola. The results of the 3 are outstanding. Regrettably too, one of the 8 persons admitted died yesterday at 2:06 p.m., thus making deaths recorded on account of the Ebola outbreak in Lagos to amount to 2. That is yesterday's and the index case. Meanwhile, because of this, like I did say again, we've started secondary contact tracing. And I said this is also a tedious matter, but you have to take each one now and start finding out who are the people who will be possibly secondarily infected. That is the close contacts of all admitted, of those admitted. We've started that, and as at now, as at yesterday, 27 of them have been identified, and we are still counting.
Idris added that more volunteers are urgently needed to curb the spread of the virus.
You agree with me that this situation is very dire, a very serious one. And more important, like I said yesterday, we need volunteers now, very extremely necessary, urgently needed, to assist us in tracking the contacts, and more importantly, to manage those cases that are already in isolation. If we want to give them a chance for life, they need to be properly managed. So we need doctors, we need nurses, environmental health workers, phlebotomists, etc., like we said yesterday.
He appealed to the striking doctors to return to work and help stop the spread. Idris revealed that the federal and Lagos state governments may introduce painstaking measures to help curtail the virus. Anita Fatunji, CoreTV News, Lagos.
Governors from the southwestern part of the country have appealed to the striking resident doctors to end their industrial action and join in the fight against the spread of Ebola disease. The governors called for collaborative effort for all stakeholders to police all illegal borders leading into the country. They also enjoined Nigerians to pay more attention to personal hygiene in order to prevent the transmission of the virus.
What we must do more of, like hand washing, sanitation, and what we must do less of on hygienic and transmission practices. Large gatherings are things we must begin to rethink if we are not sure what the health conditions of those people are. There may be need to review our consumption of meat if we are not sure of where the source of the meat is from. We also have to review our cultural and religious beliefs about disposal of corpses. People should not be buried at home. People should not be buried in their backyard. We need to know why people died before they are buried.
Everybody should know that those who aid and abet illegal entry into Nigeria now could be up to something that will be very dangerous to the health of the country. So we out there must also, all Nigerians, the adjoining villages, everybody, we must be stakeholders in combating this new challenge that we have as a nation. That's very important for that message to also go out.
Our call on the enemy to, on purely humanitarian grounds. We don't want to deal with the details of what's responsible for the ongoing strike, but we're faced with a major challenge, which is an emergency in the country. An enemy would do well to exercise that aspect of their training as doctors, that Hippocratic oath that they've sworn to in order to help arrest this emergency that we're dealing with.
The Independent National Electoral Commission says the commission will ensure a transparent election in the August 9 governorship election in Osun State. INEC made the commitment at the stakeholders meeting on the governorship election. Frank Omalape was there and filed in this report.
Present at the stakeholders meeting is the INEC chairman, Tahir Jega, royal fathers, party candidates and security agencies. The stakeholders meeting addressed some issues that are usually associated with the election processes. Some of the issues raised is late arrival of materials and electoral offences committed by party members and agents. INEC chairman Tahir Jega says the commission is working to ensure that Osun governorship poll is tagged as one of the best in recent times.
August 9 election, we will do our best to ensure a level playing field for every candidate, for every party, for every contestant. We will be non-partial, we will be non-partisan, we will be impartial, and we have required all our staff to do so. And God willing, it will come to pass.
Jega also sued for peace among all political parties and stakeholders in the coming poll.
We still have serious concerns related to thuggery and other untoward activities on election day. But the challenges are still there, and we must not rest on our oars in trying to ensure that elections are conducted peacefully under an atmosphere which will enable voters to come out and exercise their civic duties.
On his part, the acting Inspector General Police, Sulaiman Abba, says he is working with all necessary security agencies to ensure a peaceful conduct.
We will also ensure that the over 1.4 million voters in the state have the free atmosphere and conducive environment to go and exercise their civil rights that day.
The meeting took another turn when an APC chieftain says he will ensure he protects his voting slip by taking a picture of it. The INEC chairman, however, condemned the act, saying it is illegal.
When you give me my ballot, it is my ballot as a citizen of the Federal Republic of Nigeria. And when I take the picture, I do not interfere with the rights of any other Nigerian. I am simply for my own sake and for my grandchildren.
I advise that nobody should attempt to take a photograph of the ballot paper. Please, I refer you to the provisions of the law. It is illegal. INEC is mandated to protect the secrecy of the vote.
Well, with the conclusion of stakeholders' meetings ahead of the Saturday's election, all stages now set for what analysts describe as a historic election that might change the trend of politics in Osun State. Frank Komalape, CoreTV News, Osogbo.
It's the CoreTV News on the hour. We'll take a break and we'll be back with more. Stay with us.
You can now watch CoreTV News live from anywhere in the world on our website, www.coretvnews.com. Click on Live TV on our website and watch us live.
And welcome to CoreTV Primetime Days.
To follow us on Twitter, click on Twitter icon on our website. On Facebook, click on the Facebook and YouTube to see all our previous news production. You can also watch us live on YouTube. Click CoreTV, leave a space, then News. CoreTV News, a 24-hour news station.
Continent, 54 countries, over 2,000 languages, but united with similar interests. As news breaks, we give you in-depth analysis around Africa every Monday on CoreTV News.
Thank you for being there. The former Commissioner for Works, Sheye Ogunlewe, and members of the People's Democratic Party paid a reconciliatory visit to Bode George, a PDP stalwart in Lagos. The party leaders say the visit signifies a divine relationship and unity in Lagos State.
Okay. When you say unity, you mean unity and you move forward. Unity never goes backward.
God didn't tell us that we will never have storm. But even in that storm, if you still trust Him, all will be well. So what we have been able to do today, we had gone into a deeper introspection.
And that's it on the Core TV News on the Hour for this time. Join us again, top of the hour for more. Thank you for watching. I am Ebulomo Adekunle.